So, another week has passed. It is day 61 of my challenge, and I have 2 points to make today. The first one is, over the past week, I have been quite deliberate in using a communications framework to deliver my videos. And I realized that when you are deliberate with that practice, in a sense, the focus is just to use the communications framework and don't bother about anything else. I realized that that practice feels so much more progress than just going through the motions, which I've been doing over the previous period. So I think that's something to learn from. However, even though I've practiced that for 5 days, I feel like I'm not there yet. Even though I have the framework in mind, to say the point, to say an example, say the point, to say the reason, the example, and then back to the point, I still tend to blabber on at times. And partly because I feel like I've not said my point properly. I've not expressed everything in the point before moving on to the reason, before moving on to the example, and so on and so forth. So that's where I want to focus on for the next week. So that's number one. And number two is basically, I realized that after last week's long debrief and reviewing of the videos that I've done previously, it's only then and highlighting, it's only through the review and deliberate consideration of what to improve on for the next week that makes this whole challenge progressive. So if you can remember, last week I was sitting in the park and I wasn't too happy with my progress because I feel like I've been going through the motions just to deliver a video. And it was then that I decided that, okay, for the next week I'm going to take a deliberate action to focus on using the communication framework. And that is where I think the magic happens. And I think that applies not only to challenges like this, but many things in life. So I guess it's important to take time to do the review and also do the deciding on what progress or what you want to work on for the next week. And on that point, when you decide on what to work on for the next week, it doesn't matter whether you're wrong or right, because you always have more weeks, more things to decide on after the next 7 days, right? You can have another step at deciding whether what you decided last week gives you progress. So this is the framework I'm going to use, and this is something I want to put forth moving on. So I have, today is day 61, I have 29 days left, which is about 4 weeks. And I guess if I am able to review every week and decide on one thing to improve for the next week, this would make me satisfied, at least, with where I'm going for this challenge. So for the next week, I'm going to continue to practice using the PrEP framework, point, reason, example, point, and learn not to blabber on. My videos will be shorter, but it's a start, I guess. if I can make a short video that is powerful and to the point, then I can learn to expand on each part of that framework in a later stage. I hope that makes sense. See you tomorrow.